Thomas Benjamin Wilde Esquire here. I do hope you're keeping well. I'm back with another episode of Should I, Can I Cover It? A series where I like to ask the question, just because I can cover a song, does it mean I should? This series is not just an exercise in finding a new song to do on YouTube as a cover, although it is. It also aims to be a discussion of the songs themselves in terms of the lyrics and the music. So if you're interested in seeing more of this kind of content, make sure you let me know in the comments. And we could even have some interesting discussions going on there about the songs themselves. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button so that you don't miss out on future videos. All of the song requests made in this series are done through my Patreon community. For more information on how you can join that and request a song that you'd like to see me do, follow the link in the description. With all of that out of the way, let's get on with it. Should I, can I cover it? This particular song was chosen by Rebecca through Patreon and is a classic from 1987 by the hair metal band Poison. Now, I am aware of Poison. I am familiar with their work. I used to be quite a fan of them when I was younger. Probably too young to have been a fan of them when they were actually doing their thing in the 80s, because I was only born in 1980. But definitely I was listening to this in the early 90s. And then again in the mid 2000s, where they started playing this kind of music in clubs again, and we were finally old enough to be able to dance to this kind of music. So I am familiar with Poison's work. Talk Dirty to Me by Poison. Now, I'm not particularly familiar with this one. I do recognise parts of it, but I wasn't overly familiar with it. So it's perhaps one of the ones that I've not listened to quite as much as other songs. So I'm going to need to have a proper listen to this one, I think, because something tells me that there is some kind of guitar solo in the middle of this. And again, I'm going to skip that out because I can't do that on the uke. Perhaps on future videos I will find another way of doing it. On the last one I whistled through the guitar solo. I don't think I'm going to do that on this one. But I might get a kazoo out or something. I couldn't find my kazoo today, unfortunately. I'm not familiar with the lyrics of this song particularly. So let's go through them, and I will do a dramatic read through. Something tells me it's going to be quite interesting. You know, I've never seen you look so good. You never act the way you should, but I like it. And I know you like it too. The way that I want you. I've got to have you. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. That's an interesting proposition to somebody that you're courting. I never ever stay out late. You know that I can hardly wait just to see you. And I know you cannot wait to see me too. I've got to touch you. Because baby will be at the drive-in in the old man's Ford. Behind the bushes. Okay. Till I'm screaming for more. Down in the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk dirty to me. So... This puts you at a certain age, doesn't it, this? At the drive-in in the old man's Ford. Borrowing your dad's car to go and do things at the drive-in. Behind the bushes. This is not the kind of thing that you can get away with as a 42-year-old, I'm afraid. Definitely as a teenager and perhaps in your early 20s. But actually it doesn't look quite so good or cool if you're doing that at my age. So, interesting. Baby, talk dirty to me. I call you on the telephone. I'm only hoping that you're at home so I can hear you. Now, this would be the 80s, wouldn't it? So, calling someone on the telephone would require probably having to speak to a parent. Phoning through, being very polite to the parents, so that you can then go and talk dirty to the person that you're trying to get hold of. In fact, someone's just reminded me that in the 80s they had phones where everybody could listen into the conversation that you were having in the house. So if you had more than one phone, then the chances are that potentially somebody might be listening in. So I can hear you when you say those words to me and whisper so softly, I've got to hear you, because baby will be at the drive-in in the old man's Ford behind the bushes till I'm screaming for more, down in the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby talk dirty to me. CC, pick a bad guitar and talk to me, yeah. And that's where the guitar solo comes in, I'm assuming. Woo woo, I'm not going to do the guitar solo part. I will probably just do some repeats on the on the chorus there. Okay, so let's have a listen to the song. So yeah, it definitely has a very, very kind of metal punky start to it. We get... Sounds like a Eddie Cochran. Summertime Blues, doesn't it? Ain't no cure for the summertime blues. Yeah, so, okay, so fairly easy so far. I'm not going to try and do that thing on the ukulele though. No, I can't. I can't make that work, unfortunately. For those of you who know the song, you probably know what I'm referring to. Yeah, so there seems to be various guitar riffs and things like that in this, but they don't seem necessarily at the moment that important to it. People might tell me I'm wrong, but I think I can get away with just playing this on a ukulele. Okay. Okay. So let's give it a go. So the chords I'm using for this particular song have been taken from ultimateguitar.com, which is where I get all of my lyrics and chords from when I'm actually doing cover songs. Now, I don't have any kind of affiliations or sponsorships with them. So I am actually just talking from my own experience. They're great. Any songs that you want to find lyrics and chords for, you can find them. And in fact, I'm going to put a link in the description as to where you can find the chords for that. I pay for a subscription to it and can actually download PDF files and do things like be able to transpose the chords that are there automatically without having to work it out myself. So it's quite a useful tool. So we're starting off with... And then it kind of goes... You know I've never seen you look so good. You never act the way you should, but I like it, and I know you like it too, the way that I want you. I've gotta have you, yes I do. That works quite nicely. Never ever stay out late. You know that I can hardly wait. There we go. I think I've got that down. 'Cause baby will be at the drive-in in the old man's Ford behind the bushes till I'm screaming for more. Down in the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk dirty to me. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one to do. I think this is a good key to try this in. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it and see how we get on. know I never seen you look so good. You never act the way you should, but I like it, and I know you like it too, the way that I want you. I've gotta have you, oh yes I do. You know I never ever stay out late. You know that I can hardly wait just to see you, and I know you cannot wait to see me too. I gotta touch you, 'cause baby we'll be at the drive-in in the old man's Ford, behind the bushes, till I'm screaming for more. Down in the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk dirty to me. You know I call you on the telephone, only hoping you're at home, so I can hear you when you say those words to me, and whisper so softly. I gotta hear you, 'cause baby we'll be at the drive-in in the old man's Ford, behind the bushes, till I'm screaming for more. Down in the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk dirty to me. Driving in the old man's Ford, behind the bushes, till I'm screaming for more, more, more. Down in the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk dirty to me, yeah. And baby, talk dirty to me, yeah, 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 yeah. And baby, talk dirty to me. There we go. Interesting one there. Thanks for that request, Rebecca. Talk Dirty to Me by Poison. Can I cover it? Yes, I think so, just about. Should I cover it? Potentially not. But part of me thinks it might work really well on a ukulele, banjolele, with that kind of accompaniment. So very potentially you might see a full version of this at some point in the future, once I've worked out how I can get the guitar solo in there as well, because I'm not good enough at playing the guitar at all. Thanks for watching this far. If you've enjoyed the video, or if you have any interesting song facts, let me know in the comments. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the notifications button so that you don't miss out on future videos. If you're interested in suggesting a song to me to play, you can do that through Patreon. You'll need to join my Patreon community. Information can be found in the description below the video as to how to go about doing that. For the time being though, stay safe, and until next time, toodle pip. Should I, can I cover it?